You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. A Rice Lake organization is seeking to expand the availability of its laundry assistance service. Community Connections to Prosperity's Loads of Love program seeks to help individuals and families facing financial hardships cover the cost of doing their laundry through monthly events. The program is offered at Clothes Spin Laundry in Rice Lake on the first Friday of each month from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and the third Monday of each month from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. The organization is seeking additional volunteers and organizations to host future laundry events. Essentia health officials are inviting Spooner area residents to one of their walk-in flu shot clinics over the next week. The events will be held at the organization's Spooner Clinic on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on Wednesday from 9 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Residents and kids 6 months and older are invited to attend one of the events to get their annual flu shot before flu season starts to get underway this fall. Residents who cannot attend one of the events can also schedule a flu shot appointment at their local Essentia pharmacy. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is reminding residents to avoid transporting firewood across the state to help prevent the spread of invasive species. Moving untreated firewood from one area of the state to another is one of the most common ways that invasive species like the emerald ash borer and spongy moth spread. The Don't Move Firewood campaign is encouraging residents to buy local and burn local, urging them to purchase firewood from the area they're planning to camp in and leaving any of their unused firewood behind. The Universities of Wisconsin is considering a proposal that would make it significantly easier for students to transfer between schools within the system. A new policy proposal would guarantee that core general education credits can be transferred between all 13 schools in the system. The general education credits cover required classes that are not included in a student's major or minor. If approved, 30 to 36 general education credit hours that were earned at one UW school would count towards the credit graduation requirements at another UW school. State Representative Angela Stroud held a town hall in Superior on Wednesday to discuss some of the effects of the new biennial state budget passed over the summer. During the event, State Representative Stroud noted that the Superior School District is projected to lose nearly $2 million in state general aid under the new budget, which will lead to increased property taxes to maintain currently available services. The town hall served as an open discussion for local residents to consider alternative solutions to support the public school system. With northern Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany officially launching his bid for governor in the 2026 election, a candidate has already emerged for his congressional seat. Jessie Eben of Stanley officially announced her candidacy for the 7th Congressional District this week. According to her campaign announcement, Eben describes herself as a Trump conservative and says she's running for Congress to secure the southern border, unleash American energy, lower costs for Wisconsin families, and to stand with law enforcement. The Wisconsin Realtors Association has released its August real estate report showing another increase in median home prices. According to the report, the statewide median home price rose by over 5% since August of 2024 to $338,000. The report also found a nearly 2% increase in existing home sales compared to last year and about a 1% increase in year-to-date home sales. Organization officials say the data in the report could indicate a market shift that could benefit first-time home buyers. The Northwest Wisconsin chapter of Whitetails Unlimited is reminding area residents to attend their annual banquet in Shell Lake next week. The 34th annual banquet will be held at the Shell Lake Arts Center on October 2nd, and tickets for the popular event are now on sale. In addition to a buffet dinner, there will also be a silent auction, a live auction, and other contests featuring prizes like hunting and fishing equipment as well as wildlife and outdoor-themed artwork. Residents interested in attending can buy tickets on the organization's website. Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin will begin pausing abortion appointments on October 1st following a federal appeals court ruling on a provision in the new federal budget bill. The appeals court allowed the provision blocking Medicaid funding for clinics that provide abortions to remain in place. Over half of Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin's roughly 50,000 patients are covered by Medicaid. Organization officials say they will continue to fight the provision in the courts and will resume providing abortion services as soon as they are able. Governor Tony Evers and the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs have announced nearly $430,000 in grant funding awards for veteran mental health initiatives. The funding through the Veteran Mental Health Community-Based Organization Grant Program is meant to support nonprofits that address the mental well-being of veterans in the state. 9 organizations will receive a portion of the grant funding, including $100,000 for the Indian Head Community Action Agency in Northwest Wisconsin. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
The boys are back in town. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball tonight. The Brewers host the Cincinnati Reds in the final weekend of the regular season. Quinn Priester on the mound for Milwaukee. They've won 19 games in a row whenever he's pitched. Third baseman Caleb Durbin.
There's something about just the way he looks, the way he composes himself, body language. It's easy to feed off of as far as playing defense behind him, but I think that's why he's so successful out there right now is he's just competing like a bulldog, and it's easy to tell.
NFL, the Packers play the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, but Dallas will be without their top wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, out the next 3 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Xavier McKinney.
He's a playmaker on their offense, and he's one of the, the best players that they have on their team. So obviously, him not being out there is going to have an effect. But I think they're still going to run a lot of, what they usually run. And this is going to be a next man up type of mentality.
That's the Packers safety, Xavier McKinney. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Imagine you are part of a hit TV show and the line from the show that fans quote when they see you involves yelling, "No, no," in your face. That is what life has been like for former The Office showrunner Paul Lieberstein. The yelling is in reference to Lieberstein's character Toby, who returns to work much to the dismay of his adversary, Michael Scott, played by Steve Carell, who shouts, "No, no," in Toby's face. It's worth a Google. The writer-actor recently spoke at the Paley Museum about its new exhibit for The Office. During his appearance, Lieberstein mentioned the new spin-off, The Paper. He is one of the writers on the new show and said he would be open to appearing on the show as an actor if it made sense. At the moment, Oscar Nunez, who played Oscar, is the only cast member from The Office on The Paper. I've seen the pilot of The Paper, and here's my advice. Bring back all The Office characters. In Nepo Baby news, Sawyer Spielberg, yes, relation, has signed on to play the lead in a new film called Once Upon a Time in Hell's Kitchen, according to Variety. The film is based on Colin Broderick's book of the same name. The young Spielberg most recently appeared in Materialists, opposite Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal. The 33-year-old actor is the son of director Steven Spielberg and actress Kate Capshaw, and will also executive produce the project. For what it's worth, he is a well-trained actor, but I'm sure the last name has opened a few doors. It took a screwball comedy to bring the hilarious Rick Moranis out of retirement. The Honey, I Shrunk the Kids star has announced that he will be part of Spaceballs 2, where he will reprise his role as Dark Lord Helmet in the sequel to the 1987 original. According to Variety, Amazon MGM Studios has announced that production is underway and the film should hit theaters in 2027. Better Spaceballs 2 for a comeback than another Honey, I Shrunk sequel. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mostly sunny today with a high in the mid to upper 70s this afternoon. Tonight, clear with a low dropping into the mid-50s. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high in the low to mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Outside now, it's 53.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.